Yeah, I'm a little greasy. I've been sweating a lot. What's wrong with that? I've been exercising more. I've been shooting basketball. In fact, yesterday I shot basketball for an hour with my friend and I ended up hurting my leg in the process. But we're not here to talk about that. We are here to talk about what might be the best DK deck. In fact, I know it's the best DK deck. Because look at these stats. Oh yeah, baby, that's right. 63%, not only on my way to top 64 legend, but I've also maintained this win rate while throwing with other decks. I've played a little bit on the Asia ladder, and I even slayed Open Cups playing this deck because not a lot of people are going to understand how this deck can come back from a losing circumstance extremely quickly. Oh my lord, we're gonna take a look at Handbuff DK today because I really want to show you guys just how powerful DK has seemed to become. Because if you take a look at HSReplay right now, DK has been in this awkward middle spot where it has been going between like 4th through 8th place for the past week as people try to figure out what exactly are the good archetypes to play for the class. And Blood DK, Blood Control DK, was by far the most popular Death Knight deck for a while. But then a new deck entered its head into the fray. You had Menagerie Death Knight, which is, you know, just trying to take advantage of the jug, the Menagerie jug, and get a bunch of stats out of nowhere. But the biggest issue with this deck is that you need to stick cards onto the field, and if you don't get cards onto the field, your Menagerie jug may only give you +3, or in the worst circumstances, +0. But look at what is conveniently just a little bit above Menagerie DK. And I have good news about this deck. It maintains itself going into top legend to where Space Death Knight, the Control Blood DK are definitely viable options. But look at that. Handbuff DK and top 1000 legend is actually the most successful Death Knight deck. And it doesn't stop there. HS Guru essentially says the exact same thing, where Menagerie Rainbow DK is very good at a very low sample size at Diamond through Legend, but then when you look at the stats for Handbuff DK, in the past week, it has maintained a 2% popularity and a 52% win rate, and even in the last 3 days to try and give you guys the best possible scope of how this deck is performing, not only is it becoming more popular, but its win rate is pretty decent. And the main reason why you are going to see this deck very commonly on your ladder climb, it is because it is one of the only decks that can consistently beat Hog Demon Hunter. Look at that, 63% against Demon Hunters in the past 3 days at top 1000 legend. If we take a look at the past week, 66.7%. You have a 2 in 3 chance of farming Demon Hunters as long as you play the matchup well and of course get your good solid card draw. So let's actually take a look at Handbuff DK and let's analyze why this deck is super buff. So I wouldn't feel right if I didn't immediately do this. I am going to upgrade this deck to Golden because I am going to show you guys in real time how much I believe in this deck, and I really don't believe there's any other cards we really need to add into this deck. But there you guys have it. I have crafted the deck Golden. This is how confident I am in the list. There's maybe one change you could potentially make it to the deck, and that is throwing out lesser Spellstone, but we'll get into this point here in a second. So how exactly does this deck win a game? The whole point of this deck is to draw out your cards and get as much value from the Amateur Puppeteer as possible. I'm not going to break down every single little mulligan right now. I'll save that for later in the video, but it is really important that you have your Chill Fallen Baron and your Sanguine Infestation to draw out your deck, get some undead cards into your hand so that way you can play the Amateur Puppeteer and you can just start making buffs happen like crazy. What is probably going to be your most common order of turns is going to be a Dreadhound Handler on 2, a Chill Fallen Baron on 3, a Sanguine Infestation on 4, followed by an Amateur Puppeteer on 6, and if you are lucky enough to maintain the curve, you can then play Brittlebone Buccaneer into the 1 mana Amateur Puppeteer, and then play like a Dreadhound Handler or a Rainbow Seamstress or even a Toy Snatching Geist with your remaining 3 mana, so that way you are just putting threats onto the board and doing something every single turn. And you even have Morbid Swarm as your turn 1, which I conveniently forgot to talk about. But yeah, this deck has a very perfect curve if it does enable that. But the greatest part about this deck is that it is not reliant on that perfect curve in order to win the game. There might be some instances to where you have to play Blood Tap a little bit bit sooner, especially after you get your Morbid Swarms destroyed. Maybe you need, like, you know, taunts in the right moment. Maybe you can play this with Poisonous in order to just remove a couple of minions. It really just depends on the state of the game, because the greatest success and the greatest strength of Handbuff DK, in my personal opinion, is how easily you can essentially bait out your opponent to make a bad play against this deck, and then you absolutely destroy them. So there's a couple of different ways that you could set up some automatic W's with this deck, and the easiest way of doing this is honestly buffing up your Nerubian Swarmguard to be insanely high in stats, to where there are some decks that literally cannot deal with this minion if it has more than like 7, 8, 9 attack. So sometimes going for big buffs can be a very good idea. Sometimes going for a big gnome muncher or going for the big pigs in order to actually deal damage into the face can be a very effective way of winning the game. And speaking of the pig, I did mention that Poisonous combo earlier. If you make your pig into, like, you know, like an 8 attack, 9 attack, even like a 10 attack minion, if you stick Poisonous onto this thing, it'll deal 1 damage randomly, and it'll most likely clear an entire board of 7 minions, depending on how big your Quilter actually is. And if this thing sticks around and your opponent has no way of clearing it, your opponent literally cannot summon a board against you. So against decks like Imbue Druid, for example, unless they have exactly Saladrassil in order to return this card back to your hand, you are literally going to melt through their board every single time with this card. And the best case about this card, you play it once, you remove 1 board, it's gonna go face maybe for like another 8, and then it'll deal 8 again at the end of the turn. So it is really good damage from this card, especially when you pair it with a Gnome Muncher combo. Because at the end of turn effects are very important to hit in a sequence where it goes Quillbore first and then Gnome Muncher, so make sure you play in that order to try and goat the game into actually doing things correctly. And the turn effects are still slightly bugged, so don't be confused and don't be caught off guard if that does actually happen to you. But there is one other win condition that I have to point out with this deck. It is a a nightmare circumstance, because it actually involves Nightmare Lord Xavius, like as I like to call him, because he's Dr. Xavius. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. But yeah, Lord Xavius, whatever you want to call him. Lord Xavius has an ability where he can give minions charge. And you have 4 cards in your deck that summon copies of themselves. I'm gonna let you guys put that math together. It's not a very common occurrence, but if you can get this, oh my god, does it feel so satisfying to run down your opponent with the biggest undead minions you have ever seen in your life. Now, if for some reason you guys do not believe in the Lesser Spellstone, there is one potential card you could add into this deck in order to replace it. I don't really know if it's a better idea, but Dream Planner Zephyrs has been starting to get a lot of attention on ladder, and every single time I think about, what would I want to replace the Spellstone for, I have a lot of circumstances where I'm like, I really just don't want to get rid of it. And here's the reason why I'm going to justify the Spellstone to defend it, is because sometimes this card can just be just enough to get you through a very stressful circumstance. Because if this card stays in your hand long enough when you have the curve, it's pretty easy to get it to a +3/+3, and 1 mana +3/+3 into like a Dark Quilter or even like a Gnome Muncher can be extremely effective in the right circumstances. You're never going to keep this card in your mulligan though, so don't get baited by that. But if you want to replace it with like a 1-of legendary, maybe Dream Planner Zephyrs is the best way to go. But this deck is super easy to mulligan with as well. The only cards that you really are going to want to keep are going to be Morbid Swarm, Dreadhound Handler, Chill Fallen Baron, Sanguine Infestation, as well as your Amateur Puppeteer. There's going to be some instances where you already have the Puppeteer in hand, and if that's the case, you can definitely keep Brittlebone Buccaneers or specific undeads that maybe synergize with it, like your Shambling Zombie Tanks, your Nerubian Swarm Guards, your Darkthorn Quilters, or your Gnome Munchers. But all of these potential keeps are only in the context of having the Puppeteer in hand. There are going to be some matchups where you would rather have a Rainbow Seamstress, because sometimes that Lifesteal happening on turn 6 is going to be way more impactful than any other taunts that you can generate, such as against a Crewmate Demon Hunter that might just play Kane and get above those taunts anyway. So there's a lot of decision making with this deck. There's a lot of knowledge that you you need against your opponent's decks in order to play around them perfectly, but generally speaking, the only cards that are really worth keeping in your mulligan are going to be your draw cards and your Amateur Puppeteer. If you have Morbid Swarm against an aggro deck, go ahead and keep it, but if playing 1/1s really isn't that beneficial to you, just get rid of everything, go for the Puppeteer, because this card is essentially like the Handbuff weapon in Paladin. It doesn't matter how you get it, you really just want to play this card as soon as physically possible. And don't forget, if you do enjoy this kind of content, feel free to like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and check out the Patreon if you want to support the content directly. So thank you so much for making it to the end of this deck breakdown, and we'll see you for the next video. Okay, against Warlock, all I care about is the buff card. Full mulligan for Puppeteer. Oh my god, man. It's just so sad. I've explained this so many times, and I feel like it's falling on deaf ears. Athena should be exempt? No, it shouldn't. Dude, if that interaction works the way that you said, then Murmur Shaman would unironically just be the best deck in the game, and it's not even close. If you shutter Athena into a 60 health Brain Masseuse, that would work if all 60 procs go into the 60 health Brain Masseuse. That would technically work. Alright, get some corpses. Maybe we high roll the Puppeteer. Ooh. Okay, this would be the game where doing this could win. But yeah, aneurysm almost successfully given. Gam Gam Aviana work? Wait, Gam Gam Aviana? Like, what do you even mean by that? The moment you play Kill Jaden, demons only get +2/+2 once. Yeah, it doesn't stack. No, it doesn't stack. It's not like suddenly your demons are gonna get +4/+4. That'd be kind of crazy. Alright, so now let's give him +2/+2. We play the Puppeteer. And now we have the biggest amalgam in the world. It's huge, bro. Bigger than Donald Trump's tariffs. I'm an idiot, I forgot the interaction. No, dude, you're fine, you're fine. It's just, I can't tell you how often I get that answer. Or how many times I get that question. Put Ta instead of a shitty 1-mana spell. Wait, what? Hold on a minute. If I hero power, does the minion die and then this would summon a minion because of end turn effects, or would this bug? It probably would bug. I don't want him to interact with this minion until I have the value from it, so it's just probably not a good idea to do it. Let's Xavius first. Unless it's bugged. Yeah, I would rather not risk it on a bug then. I mean, double charge? Sure. Sure, I'll take double charge. Rank 80, you climbed a lot. I've peaked at 70 today. Oh, he's doing the thing. Double Wisp, what? Oh my god, wait a minute. Bro, I'm about to be so buff. Dude. Bro. We're so fucking buff. My boys have been working out, bro. They have been working out, and the funniest thing about this is the charge no muncher that could legitimately deal 30 damage in one turn. This layover, I don't know. This is a bit risky, right?
My God, how did he do it?
The wisp were the block the no muncher. I think the wisp were just to get him out of hand. Because look at how many cards he has now. If he didn't play wisp, he would have overdrawn. Oh, is he gonna double freeze them? Oh my god, means they're gonna make a frozen copy. Okay, hold on. Is this still just lethal? Hold on a minute. I think this is still lethal, guys. Wait, no, the 2-1. No, what is that 2-1 doing there? That 2-1 like actually ruins everything. I think we just play double board at this point. Yeah, double pew pew. We fill up a board too. All right, that's 28 split. How did they get so big? Doctors hate my secrets. Buy my online class in order to find the way. It's actually kind of sad because like if he ends up playing layover number 2, this is still really bad for us. Layover in this deck? No, I don't think so. No layover. If he had layover, he just would have done. Wait, what? No, what do you? No, stop it! No. Bro, my win condition. This double, how is this double charge not gonna be nearly enough? Oh my dear lord, dude. Someone nerf Yu, bro. How is he finding the way? I'm so mad that this is not killing him right now because of these damn yours. Smack him again. Turnover works with your. I mean, that's the reason why this deck is so good, is because you have so much armor gain. Here. I guess the only thing that matters is getting frozen. But if that's it. Okay, so now we win. Now we win the game. Now this goes there, that goes face, G fucking G. Oh my god! There you go, bro. I just beat one of the best players in the world. YouTube doesn't know it, but Yu is literally a world champion competitor. And he actually played that matchup very well. But if this deck can beat the best gamer playing the best deck almost as effectively as you could be, I don't know. Maybe this deck's got potential. 69, baby. Oh my god, I actually have the Puppeteer in my Mulligan. I literally don't know what this feeling feels like. I'm so unlucky.
Best Hearthstone player that ever
Okay,
lived.
yo, chill, bro, chill. You're making up for lost time, I get it, but chill. Oh my god. Might be a bit overkill here, bro. I could do coin this into this and a turn 6 double 1/1. Oh, it's disgusting, man. Twist should be what, like, I don't want to say it should be what Tavern Brawl should be, because I feel like that's an opinion a lot of people say. But what I think Twist should be, you know how in World of Warcraft you have Chromie, and you can go back to different points in World of Warcraft's history, and you can like replay through the Lich King saga, or like Dragonflight, or whatever examples, because I don't know all the World of Warcraft stuff. That's what Twist should be. Twist should be, I want to go back and play Classic. I want to go back and play Nox Ramis. I want to go back and play, like, the Grand Tournament or something. But the way that you could actually make this game mode work is you could just make it to where every month you rotate an old meta if that technology isn't possible. But it should be an actual way to go back and play any meta that you missed, that you weren't physically there for, or a meta that you missed because I missed like Frozen Throne, for example. And I don't understand, because like, we have the technology. They made Classic happen. They made Classic happen. Why not make this happen? We have the technology. Like, the only thing that Twist is doing is making people disappointed. Also, this is a mirror, by the way. We just have it. We need our copy cards, actually. We're not quite there yet. In fact, you know what I'm gonna try and do? I think this is the game where we try to high roll the copy charge. TFT and League of Legends basically has that. Really? So the technology is there then. It's just whether or not they could justify it because they don't know if they have the player base. I feel like that's the only reason that's why they wouldn't go for it immediately. All right, charge. Ow, my. That's a big fucking minion, dude. Something else we should keep in mind. The way to win this mirror is not to make the bigger taunt. It's to make the bigger pig. So don't forget about that, chat. We need some big pigs, bro. Massive. We need massive pigs. But this is still gonna feel good to do. I feel like this is definitely gonna be our next play because he hasn't buffed anything. The pig's only at 2 attack. Do we do anything else though? We do have a Dreadhound handler. Probably not necessary. The biggest pigs you've ever seen. Oh, yo, that's funny. Did he get the Xavius buff? Oh wait, no, he played Flip Path. Okay. Bam. Do we just start putting our meat on the table? I think we do, actually.
Eyes on the horizon. I can't dance any faster.
Value. So much juicy, glorious value. Then we'll play this next turn. We'll reload. Have another one of these if we need it. Again, like this is nice and all, but we gotta watch out for poison. That's why these 1/1s might be good because they can kind of they can just be another low roll if he doesn't have a big pig here. Because his pig's only gonna be at like 4 attack, right? So 4 procs. Dude, he is trading. He so has that pig. And I don't have mine. Oh, God. Unga bunga. I guess we just kind of have to do this now.
You could use a shrimp. Clear.
There might have been an argument to keeping a 1/1 alive. If you don't have pig poison, I don't think you win.
Can't this thing dance any faster?
All right. So there has to be... All right, so he doesn't have pig. So going big wins the game.
My God, how does he do it? Lord HELLSCREAM, the best Hearthstone player that ever lived.
Stand strong.
Suck this and suck this. Yeah, suck this and suck this. I'm so good. Let's go. All right, come on. I'm so good. Let's go. Exactly what I wanted to happen. This is one reason why I love playing meme decks, because in the future, if they become good, I already know how to do this. I already know how to play the mirror. I've already thought about these plays. Been down these roads. Oh shit, okay, there he goes. Oh my God, is he doing the thing? Oh my God, he's doing the thing. Okay, hold on. That's actually really not good, because I can't even hear a power poison clear that. Unless something somehow miraculously survives, which it definitely didn't. Okay, wait, there you go. And now I have pig, GG. So, goodbye. Hello, goodbye. We're drowning in value right now. That was like his last shot. Oh God, wait a minute, that's a lot.
You could use a shrimp.
That's actually kind of a problem.
Eyes on the horizon. This thing dance any faster. I can't dance any faster.
All right, hold on. I did not think about the no muncher. All right, hold on. Did I just throw? Did I actually just throw? If he doesn't kill me this turn, we're fine.
The citadel stands strong.
This is not looking like this is killing me. This is not killing me. Save this for a lethal. I don't need to use it now because this is already healing me. Just trying to make sure that I don't accidentally throw the game here.
You could use a stream. Clear cut.
10 into the board. I should just trade to the main at this point. We're so outvaluing this guy.
The citadel stands strong.
I don't need to pay attention to the game anymore, Xena. I think I won. Now there is a shot he might have second poison. Okay. Maybe playing this was unnecessary, but I like what we did here. Okay, how can I find a lethal here, if at all? I've got no muncher. No muncher could actually do it after this thing clears. Is there anything off of the Geist that matters? I can't really think about it because we want to spend the mana on this. So, here we go. Draw the card. Yeah. Heals 10, kills this. This goes face. Luckily, end of turn did not bug here. I guess that is something I'm gonna have to point out in the video. End of turn effects could get in the way. Oh my god, does he actually have pig here? Dude, no! Alright, there's a chance he could miss. Very small chance, but... Oh my god, okay, okay, so the out was us to draw the other poison, because if we clear the poison, I think we just win. But, there you go, I don't know how that missed. I have no idea how that missed. Welcome to Hearthstone, flipping coins, can I take your order? Dude, this deck is everywhere now, I love this. Order low. And we can just keep forcing out pyromancers. That's not pyro, that's just death. Just the absolute beefcake, bro. The beefcake. It's just so good. How is Amateur Puppeteer the third lowest card?
My God, how did he do it?
8 cards, play this, go to 9.
The best Hearthstone player that ever lived.
Draw 10, play this, coin 1, play Puppeteer. No. No. Brother, you gotta be fucking kidding me. This is so dumb because I could punish this with Poison Breath. But guess who doesn't have Poison Breath in his hand? I guess we're gonna have to draw into it. Fucking, come on. Thank you. Oh my god, let's go. I hopefully won't have to lose to this nonsense. Oh my lord, the fact I have to do this. Guess it's good that he wasted all those resources, but...
Stop and smell the flowers.
Suck.
This thing dancing faster.
There's always room for dessert.
I'm trying to think about what's not overcommitting. I guess it's just this.
The citadel stands strong.
Puppet.
Have you filled out paperwork?
What? Holy hell, dude. I mean, it's just, oh, Jesus Christ. It's not gonna matter, but why does it need to happen? Holy fuck. Okay, come on. Taunt, copy charge. Yes! Yes! Yes!
Eyes on the horizon. I can't dance any faster.
I see resolve.
I guess let him brawl this.
My god, how did he do it? Lord HELLSCREAM, the best Hearthstone player that ever lived.
I will crush you.
No wear and tear of any kind.
My hand curses.
No, it's not lethal yet. It's very close. 27, 28. Oh my god, it's lethal. Oh my god, it's lethal. Who saw that? Who? Yes! Ah! Tilt not getting the best of me, bitch!